I could start imagining, and it won't unwind. As long as you're not here, I live inside my mind. I've been drifting, unfiltered from the heart. You say it's simple, but who's to know? If we keep it gentle, keep it slow, I'm still learning, unfiltered from the heart. I can't dress it up with clever lines, I can't hide it in between. Every time I try, it finds the honest in me. This isn't perfect, but it is real. It's everything I never said but feel. I'm still reaching, unfiltered from the heart. And if you come back, if you stay a while, I'll meet you there without a shield or style. No excuses, unfiltered from the heart. I could keep pretending I'm okay, but I don't wanna love that face that way. So I'm telling you, unfiltered from the heart. Can't dress it up with clever lines, I can't hide it in between. Every time I try, it finds the honest in me. This isn't perfect, but it is real. It's everything I never said but feel. I'm still reaching, unfiltered from the heart. If you ever wonder where I stand, it's written in the trembling of my hands. No rehearsing, unfiltered from the heart. This isn't perfect, but it is real. It's everything I never said but feel. I'm still reaching, unfiltered from the heart.
Nothing loud, nothing out of place, just a quiet grin across your face. Then without warning, everything moved, and I became the one who couldn't keep my cool. What I needed was time to loosen your hold on my mind, but I don't know what I'm gonna do. There's no way past you, no matter where I run. Your name comes through like a shadow with the sun. I try to let go, but it's true. There's no way past you. I tell myself I'm doing fine, but you appear between the lines in every corner, in every room, and all the roads I take lead back to you. What I needed was time without you, how to turn. But tonight I'm still here with your light in my view. There's no way past you, no matter where I run. Your name comes through like a shadow with the sun. I try to let go, but it's true. There's no way past you. There's no way past you.
Learning the ways of love. I never knew it could feel this right and cut this deep. Learning the ways of love. Learning the ways of love. The spark when our bodies speak, then can't sleep. Learning the ways of love. I thought I was ready, thought I was strong, but a touch can undo me when it lingers too long. And the sweetest moments can leave bruises of light. I hold you, I lose you in the same kind of night. Learning the ways of love. Learning the ways of love. It's fire that warms and stings while it sings. Learning the ways of love. You look at me softly, then look away, and I read all the silence in the words you don't say. I keep chasing the answer, I keep tracing your tone, trying to love you without breaking my own. Learning the ways of love. Learning the ways of love. The rush when you call my name, and I'm changed. Learning the ways of love. If love is a language, I'm still brand new. Every lesson I learn starts and ends with you. So I'll stay in the turning till the truth becomes clear. How to hold what is fragile without living in fear. Learning the ways of love. Learning the ways of love. It's joy and it's mercy too. And it's true. Learning the ways of love. Learning the ways of love. It all feels so effortless, all the tenderness you handed me, the warmth we kept, and I still can't recall it. How your fingers would hone us, I was safe in your death. We had one in a lifetime, but I missed what I held, and I let it slip away. Told myself I'd be fine. Now the nights say your name every time I lose time. If you ever hold me close again, I won't waste a second.
second, I won't let it in. I'll be steady, I'll be true. I'll come back to you. If you ever hold me close again, I will end what I couldn't end. No more pride, no more men in front. In the quiet of your arms again. We were young and unguarded, like a fire that couldn't be tamed. I took it for granted, didn't know what to say. And the look in your eyes when I turned, it might have still follows me softly like a shadow of grace. I would give anything to erase that goodbye, to be worthy of all the love you supplied. If you ever hold me close again, I won't waste a second, I won't let it end. I'll be steady, I'll be true. I'll come back to you. If you ever hold me close again, I will learn what I couldn't then. No more pride, no more running from. In the quiet of your arms again. I used to think I had forever. Time was mine to spend. Now I know the heart remembers every almost every end. So if the door is even open, if the light is still there, I'll walk in with open hands and meet you in your care. If you ever hold me close again, I won't waste a second, I won't let it end. I'll be steady, I'll be true. I'll come back to you. If you ever hold me close again, I will learn what I couldn't bend. No more pride, no more running from. In the quiet of your arms again. Hold me close. If you ever hold me close again, I'll be steady, I'll be true. I'll come back to you.
I stay awake past midnight, watching shadows on the wall. The room is filled with quiet, nothing much at all. You drift through my thoughts without a sound. No promises, just the way you come around. I don't need you to notice, just someone I think about late at night. I don't say your name out loud, I let it stay inside. Some feelings don't need answers to survive. I used to picture moments that never took shape, little scenes that faded when morning came. You stay for just a second, then you're gone, like a half-remembered song. I don't need you to choose me or to stay. You're just someone I think about that way. No asking, no pretending, no line I have to cross. Just a thought that lingers, then gets lost. The streetlights keep on flickering outside. I turn away and let the night decide. You're just someone I think about at night.
Hardest part is still believing that somewhere out there things make sense. People move through moments, never stay too long. And I wonder where I went wrong. I used to say keep it simple, don't expect too much at all. But letting go came way too easy, and freedom only left me alone. I'm still awake at 4 a.m. No one calling, no one there, just sitting with a quiet thought that maybe this is where I don't ask for something perfect, I don't need a perfect plan. I just notice how much time passed without me understanding it. I've got pockets full of intentions, they don't keep me warm tonight. But I'm breathing, I'm still standing, and somehow I'll be alright. I'm still awake at 4 a.m. watching shadows cross the room, holding on to something small, not a dream, just something true.
could paint a memory, I try to color the light in your eyes. Not the brightest moment, just the way it stays long after the night is gone quiet. And if I could write a symphony, I'd let it wander, I'd let it breathe, not rushing toward the ending, just repeating what feels true in a language only we can hear. There's a special kind of magic here tonight, not the kind that fades when morning comes. I'm so glad you found the time to share my life in the ordinary ways that mean the most. Love stays forever when it's more than a moment in time. Love stays forever when your heart is holding mine. No matter the weather, no matter how far we roam, love stays forever, and it always feels like home. If I could bottle the feeling, I'd save it for the days that turn cold. Not to relive the past, but to remember the calm when the world feels heavy to hold. And if I could freeze this minute, I'd keep it gentle, I'd keep it small. Not a perfect picture, just your hand in mine, and the comfort of knowing you hear it all. There's a quiet kind of fire in how you stay, like a promise that doesn't need words to say. It doesn't ask for proving, it doesn't need a sign, it just keeps returning time after time. Love stays forever when it's more than a moment in time. Love stays forever when your heart is holding mine. No matter the weather, no matter how far we roam, love stays forever, and it always feels like home. Some love is a spark that fades in the air, gone before you notice it was there. Some love is a story that burns too bright, then disappears, leaving echoes you can't repair. But this feels steady, this feels true, like a road that doesn't rush its end. Every turn keeps leading back to you again and again. So if the years start changing us, if the edges soften, if the nights grow long, I won't be afraid of where we are, as long as this feeling keeps going on. Love stays forever when it's more than a moment in time. Love stays forever when your heart is holding mine. No matter the weather, because it never bends, but because it learns how to stay through beginnings and ends. Love stays forever in the quiet we've grown to know. Love stays forever, and it always feels like home. Love stays forever.
Some feelings don't have a reason. They come back when the room is quiet. Some thoughts I don't try to follow, I let them pass without asking why. There's no story I need to finish, no ending I need to find. Just something that stays a little, then fades with time. Some feelings move through slowly, not love, not pain, just traces left behind. I don't reach for what is gone, I don't wish things away. I just notice how certain feelings decide to stay. There are nights I feel them again, not in my arms, not in my heart, not in my arms, not in my Not in my arms, not in my mind, just somewhere between breathing and the passing of time. Some feelings don't belong to yesterday or tomorrow either way. They don't ask to be understood, they just remain for a while. Some feel, some feel.
Sometimes love feels heavy, like water moving too fast. Sometimes it leaves a mark you don't see until after. Sometimes it's the hunger that keeps you awake at night. I don't try to name it, I just sit with the feeling. There's a heart that stays guarded, afraid to fall apart. There's a dream that stays quiet, waiting in the dark. Some people hold back, some people give too much. Some learn slowly what it means just to touch
life's a battlefield where you stand your ground or you lose. Every look a loaded question, every silence something to prove. I learned how to keep my armor close, how to smile and never bend. I learned how to walk away first, so I wouldn't have to mend. Take no prisoners in the game of love. That was always how I played. Never stayed too long in the moment, never trusted what I felt. I kept moving like I had somewhere to go, like my heart was just passing through. Take no prisoners in the game of love, until I ran straight into you. You didn't come with warnings, you didn't raise your voice, you just stayed where you were standing, and somehow that was a choice. There was no chase, no hunger, no need to win or lose, just a quiet kind of presence that I didn't know how to refuse. I kept waiting for the angle, kept expecting you to fold, but you stayed exactly where you were, unarmed, unafraid, open, slow. Take no prisoners in the game of love. That was always how I survived. Never let it get too close to me, never let it come alive. I thought distance meant control, I thought leaving meant I was free. Take no prisoners in the game of love, until love took something out of me. Now I notice how the room feels when you're sitting next to me, how the silence doesn't threaten, how it finally lets me breathe. I don't reach for exits anymore, I don't count the ways to run, I just stay inside the moment, even when it comes undone. Maybe strength is staying open, maybe you win it means you bend, maybe love was never something I was meant to defend. Take no prisoners in the game of love. I can see how tired I was, always ready for the ending, before anything begun. I don't need to keep my distance now, I don't need to prove I'm strong. Take no prisoners in the game of love. Feels like the rule that was wrong. If I lose myself inside this, if I give you what I hide, I won't call it surrender, I won't call it pride, I'll just call it learning how to stay instead of flee, how to let someone see me without taking something from me. Take no prisoners in the game of love. I don't play that way anymore, I don't keep my heart in pieces, scattered on the floor. Take no prisoners in the game of love was a line I used to say. Now I let the moment hold me, and I don't turn away. Take no prisoners in the game of love. I hear it fade when I speak, like an old rule losing meaning every time you look at me.
I stepped out late into the quiet street. Lights were on but no one stayed. Every window held a reflection that didn't seem to know my name. I walked like I was looking for something, like I missed a sign somewhere. But every corner I turned toward only led me back to air. There's nothing out there that knows how I feel, knows No sound in the distance, no wound left to heal. I keep moving like it matters, like the night might care. But every place I reach for, there's nothing out there. I thought the world would feel bigger once I learned how to be alone. But the space just kept on stretching till it started feeling closed. Every voice turns into an echo, every promise thins with time. I hold on to fading outlines just to prove I'm still alive. There's nothing out there that's waiting on me. No open door in the dark, no clear reason to leave. I tell myself it's only quiet, I tell myself it's fair. But when the moment finally settles in, there's nothing out there. I sit with the noise inside my chest and let it rise then fall. I listen to my breathing like it's the only proof at all. If I don't name the loneliness, it won't ask me to explain. So I let it stay unspoken, like a familiar kind of pain. There's nothing out there that I haven't already known. No new shape to the silence, no place that feels like home. I've chased the edges of the night, I've followed every prayer, but every road keeps telling me there's nothing out there. Maybe I'm not meant to find it, maybe that was never true. Maybe the space I keep on searching is just a longer way to you. But tonight I don't have answers, I don't reach for anything. I let the stillness hold me, I let the quiet sing. There's nothing out there that can tell me who I am. No voice above the city, no guiding hand. So I stop asking the darkness to be more than it can bear. I stand inside the moment, even if there's nothing out there. There's nothing out there, just the sound of my name fading into the evening, like it was never the same. There's nothing out there, and I finally see that the silence I was fearing is still here with me.
We don't have to start with reasons, we don't have to set it straight. There are things we never name that still arrive when it's too late. I remember how we learned silence, like it was safer than the truth. How every pause kept growing heavier until it finally broke through. Let's apologize, not to fix what's gone, not to rewrite the ending or pretend we were wrong. Let's apologize for the weight we carried along, for the words we swallowed whole, and the distance we called home. I used to think saying nothing was the kind of way to stay, but quiet has a way of turning into something sharp. up with age. Every moment we avoided still knows exactly where we've been. It waits inside the smallest details, like it never learned to end. Let's apologize, not for loving too hard, but for leaving questions open in the dark. Let's apologize for the nights we let pass by, for the things we almost said and the truth we left behind. I don't need forgiveness, I don't need a sign. I just wanna lay it down and let it take its time. Some apologies are quiet, they don't ask to be received, they only need to be spoken, so the heart can finally breathe. Let's apologize for the space we never crossed, for the moments that kept moving while we paused. Let's apologize without asking where it leads, just to say we were here, just to say we tried to meet. I still feel it when the evening settles into every room, how the past becomes a presence that knows exactly what to do. It doesn't rush toward answers, it doesn't try to stay, it just stands between the hours like a memory learning how to fade. Let's apologize, not to reopen the door, but to close it gently like we should have before. Let's apologize for the ways we held our ground when all we really needed was to lay it down. If we never speak again, if this is where it ends, I won't carry it unfinished, I won't call it regret. I'll call it understanding, I'll call it letting go, I'll call it something honest that I needed to know. Let's apologize for the silence and the sound, for the love that didn't leave but never stayed around, and let the moment pass, not to change what we were, just to release the past. Just to release the past.
I used to feel it coming before it ever arrived. A familiar pull in the distance that wanted inside. I learned how to keep moving, how to smile and decline. Every time something real started crossing the line. They said love is irresistible, but I always ran. I mistook the feeling for losing command. I thought staying meant breaking, I thought closeness was wrong, so I kept my steps light and my exit strong. You didn't rush the moment, didn't ask for proof. You stayed where the quiet lived, and somehow that was true. There was no spark demanding, no fire out of control, just a steady invitation that reached into my soul. Irresistible, not because it's loud, but because it stays when the noise noise dies down. Irresistible in the way you don't chase. You let the space remain. You let me choose my pace. I felt the urge to disappear the second it felt real. That old instinct rising, telling me not to feel. But something in your patience kept me standing still. Like you knew I'd come closer if I moved at my will. I noticed how my breathing didn't change when you stayed. How the room didn't shrink. How I didn't need to escape. It was strange how the calm felt heavier than fear. Like the choice to remain was suddenly clear. Irresistible in the way you don't pull. You don't ask for surrender. You just stay visible. Irresistible in the softest sense. Like a door left open with no defense. Maybe love was never something I had to outrun. Maybe leaving was easier than letting it come. I spent years perfecting distance, calling it control. But distance never taught me how to feel whole. Now I sit in the moment and let it unfold. I don't rush toward answers, I don't do what I'm told. I let the silence linger, I let the night decide. I let the feeling stay without trying to hide. Irresistible when I don't resist. When I stop pretending I don't feel this. Irresistible when I finally see love isn't the danger, running was me. So I won't step back this time, I won't vanish midway. I'll stay with the feeling, however it stays. If love is irresistible, I won't call it a flaw. I'll call it the moment I stopped keeping score. Irresistible, not a rush, not a fall. Just a quiet decision to feel it all. Irresistible when I don't turn away. Never run away from love. I'm learning how to stay. I didn't notice when it started. There was no sign to read, just a shift in how the evening moved closer to me. I was standing on familiar ground, telling myself I was fine. Then something tilted in the quiet and changed my sense of time. They call it falling for you, like it happens all at once. Like the ground gives way and you don't get a choice. But this feels slower than that, like a gentle release, like letting go of the edge without needing to leave. I kept my feet close to the moment, I kept my eyes aware.
told myself to stay balanced, to breathe like nothing's there. But every word you didn't rush, every pause you let remain, made the space between us feel lighter than the same. Falling for you doesn't feel like the fall, it feels like the air changing before I move at all. Falling for you feels quiet and wide, like losing the weight I didn't know I carried inside. I remember how I used to brace for the sudden drop, for the part where the heart can't find a place to stop. But this doesn't ask for speed, it doesn't pull me through. It just opens up the moment and lets me choose what to do. I notice how my hands relax when you're close enough to hear how the room doesn't disappear. When you're here, there's no rush toward the bottom, no fear of hitting ground, just a sense of slowly drifting where nothing needs a sound. Falling for you feels like staying awake through the softest part of night I never want to escape. Falling for you feels like learning to trust that the fall won't break me, that the landing won't rush. Maybe falling was never danger, maybe it was delayed. The long way into feeling, the careful way to stay. I spent years gripping the surface, calling it being strong, but holding on kept me floating where I never belong. Now I let the moment deepen, I let the night go long. I don't ask where this is leading, I don't ask if it's wrong. I let the distance soften, I let the stillness through. I let myself admit it, I'm already falling for you. Falling for you without losing my ground, without losing my name, without losing my sound. Falling for you feels steady and slow, like the safest way I've ever let myself go. If this is falling, I don't wanna be safe, I don't want the edge back, I don't wanna be brave, I just wanna stay inside it. Let the feeling continue, let the night hold open what's showing me with you. Falling for you isn't losing control, it's learning how to move without holding my soul. Falling for you feels gentle and true, like the moment I stopped standing still and started falling for you.
I didn't plan to say it out loud, I didn't rehearse the words. It wasn't written in the moment, it just quietly occurred. I noticed how the day felt softer when I knew you'd be around, how my thoughts stopped racing, how the noise settled down. I'm in love, not the kind that needs a stage, not the kind that asks for answers or demands to be explained. I'm in love in the way the ordinary feels, like it finally has a center, like something steady and real. I used to think love arrived loudly, with a rush you couldn't ignore. But this came in without knocking and stayed longer than before. It didn't change the world at once, it didn't turn the lights on bright. It just stayed beside the evening and made everything feel right. I'm in love in the spaces in between, in the way the silence settles when you're sitting next to me. I'm in love in the hours we don't name, in the comfort of not asking what this is or who to blame. I catch myself moving slower, like I don't wanna miss a thing, like time has learned to loosen every place it used to cling. There's no rush to make it certain, no promise I need to prove, just a quiet understanding that I'm choosing this with you. I'm in love without fear of what it costs, without keeping track of losses, without measuring the odds. I'm in love in the way I finally stay, not because I have to, but because I wanna stay. I think back on how I guarded every corner of my heart, how I mistook constant leaving for knowing when to start. But love doesn't need an exit, it doesn't need a plan, it just needs a little room to let you be who you are. I'm in love, and I don't need it to grow into something bigger than what I already know. I'm in love with the calm inside the choice, with the feeling that doesn't fade when I hear my own voice. So I won't say it like a promise, I won't frame it like a vow, I'll just let it stay unfinished, like it's staying with me now. I don't need to name the future, I don't need to change the past. I'm in love, and this moment is enough to last. I'm in love in the quiet of the night, in the way the world feels gentle when it finally feels right. I'm in love, and I don't need to pretend it's a question or an answer, it's just where I am.
It's not always what you say, it's the way you slow your voice, like you're making room for silence, like you're giving me a choice. You don't rush to fill the moment, you don't turn it into sound, you just speak like you're listening, even before I come around. When you talk to me, the world doesn't interrupt, the noise learns how to soften, the edges don't feel so rough. When you talk to me, I don't feel the need to reply, I just stay inside the meaning and let the moment pass by. I've heard words used like weapons, I've heard kindness spoken fast, like it was afraid of waiting, like it didn't mean to there's nowhere else to be. And somehow that changes everything when you talk to me. When you talk to me, it's not about what is said, it's the pause that comes after where I finally feel understood instead. When you talk to me, I notice my breathing slow, like my body recognizes something my mind already knows. I don't brace for explanation, I don't search for hidden signs, I don't measure every sentence, trying to read between the lines. You don't need to say you're staying, you don't need to make it clear. The way you say my name is steady, like you're already here. When you talk to me, the room learns how to listen. Even the walls seem closer, like they're leaning in. When you talk to me, I forget what I was guarding, I forget what I rehearsed, I forget what I was hiding. I used to think connection came from being understood, from saying everything just right, from explaining more than I should. But this feels simpler than that. It feels slower, it feels true, like being present is enough, like being heard is too. When you talk to me, I don't disappear inside myself, I don't drift into the distance, I don't become someone else. When you talk to me, I stay exactly where I am, not because I'm being held, but because I finally can. If words are just a doorway, you don't force it open wide, you knock and wait and let it be, and let me decide. And maybe that's the reason I don't pull away, because nothing feels demanded, nothing asks me to stay. When you talk to me, it feels like the night slows down, like the world takes a breath before making another sound. When you talk to me, I don't need to say a thing, I just let the moment hold me and hear what quiet brings. When you talk to me, I don't need to understand everything that's coming next or where we stand. When you talk to me, I feel steady, I feel free, like whatever this becomes, I can stay. When you talk to me,